The Lego Movie 2 was directed by Mike Mitchell, no longer directed by Lord and Miller, but they did stay on as screenwriters, and this film follows the first, which beautifully set up this universe, and I have loved to at least semi-enjoyed every Lego movie since then. And after the first film revealed that this was really a universe in which kids were playing with Legos, and it was sort of like this fantastical version of what was going on in the kids' minds, this one goes deeper into that, and we see a brother and sister who are arguing, they can't play well together, and thusly the Lego universe has become this Mad Max post-apocalyptic-like world where Emmett is one of the last few people that still thinks everything is awesome, whereas everyone else is trying to convince him, no, not really, we got issues here. And there's these invaders that are coming in that are threatening to ruin everything, which is told from the perspective of the sister, who is now threatening to ruin the brother's universe that he's created. I'm sorry this review is as late as it is. I have a lot going on right now in my life. I have a short film that's coming out very soon at a festival, March 1st. I'm in pre-production on another one, which involved going to an abandoned farmhouse and scouting that location and making sure it was safe, insurance, liability, all of that shit. A lot of information, but basically I didn't have enough time to sit down and review every film that came out last weekend because I've just been so goddamn busy. But I am excited to get going again with a lot more reviews because I got a lot of stuff to come out very soon. A lot of stuff I'm filming, but Lego Movie 2, this movie was entertaining. I didn't like it as much as the first one though. I think the first one was a lot smarter and it felt like a movie that was made more for adults and kids could also enjoy it. This movie feels a lot more aimed at pleasing the mass, which is strange because the first one really did. And I don't know why this feels so much more family friendly. Yeah, there's still adult jokes to be found in the film. There's still moments of satire that really work for me because all the Lego films have that. Even the Ninjago movie, which I liked more than most. This one definitely aims more at just pleasing the base demographic of kids, and there's moments for adults to like too, but it's nowhere near as smart or as clever as the first film. Still, it is an enjoyable movie for sure. The animation is incredible. There's really exciting action scenes. There's a few great musical numbers. There's some great in-jokes if you are aware of movies and pop culture, which is very popular for the Lego films. Batman has some very funny moments in the movie as well. But I think my biggest issue with the movie is that the second act sets up an arc that once the third act comes, which I won't spoil, it makes the second act less interesting. It makes the build-up seem rather inconsequential because now that you know things that are going on, everything that was set up in the second act seems like it's worthless now. And I feel like on repeat viewings, that will suffer because now the entire middle portion of the movie, it's not what you think it was in a way. And so when you rewatch the movie, it's going to be hard to gain an interest in some of these scenes that are supposed to be setting up things that never come to fruition. There's also some things that happen towards the end in regards to these story reveals that I saw like a mile away. There's some really obvious twists in the movie. But as far as voice work, the movie's excellently done. Chris Pratt is really good as Emmett, although I didn't like Emmett as much in this one as I did the first time around. I think his gleeful optimism in the first film seemed more realistic because it wasn't a Mad Max post-apocalyptic world. Whereas in this one, where like all of the Lego characters are depressed and they're sad and life just sucks for them, he's the only guy walking around still listening to everything is awesome, and so it kind of makes him seem stupid. But Elizabeth Banks as Lucy was probably my favorite character in this film. She's super badass and funny and tough, and I related to her the most because she just kind of spoke what the audience was thinking most of the time. Like when Emmett would say something just over the top, she would be like that level-headed person that's like, would you just stop right now? But even though the third act does sort of betray the setup of the second act, it did have a super, super heartwarming point to it all. One that I understood and one that I really agreed with because I have sisters and when we were kids, we didn't really get along that well and it was difficult for us to want to like play together or do anything because we were both on kind of different mindsets. And so I liked the third act and how it wrapped things up, and I thought it was something that little kids and older kids can really appreciate and learn something from. But just because the message is good, it doesn't necessarily mean that it worked. It's definitely something that I think kids should know about and should think about, but it doesn't 100% work narratively for me. But still, just as an animation film, this was very entertaining and well done, although nowhere near as good as the first film. I'm going to give the Lego Movie 2, the second part, a B-. Guys, thank you so much, as always, for watching. Look forward to more reviews very soon. And if you like this, you can click right here and get Stuckmanized.